Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Mike Plays RP1. This is the series in which I'm going through the contracts and programs in the RP1 mod pack and doing my best to do so. And let's just go over kind of where we are at now. At the conclusion of the last episode, and you can see a link to that last episode if you take a look up here, I did the 5,000 kilometer downrange milestone contract, which finishes off the Suborbital Rocket Research program, which will allow me to pick a new program, new body of contracts, and all that kind of stuff. We'll get into that very, very shortly. Just to sort of show what other things are going on here, we have the launch pad being reconditioned from that launch that we just saw. That's going to go for another 16 days, so no, it's 16 hours, I'm sorry. And then we have the hangar where we're covering the Bell X1. It did its second flight also last episode. Fortunately, we got an engine failure, had to water ditch, and in that water ditch, we lost the engine. So we're going to have to do some minor repairs. I believe the rest of the plane is intact, so hopefully that won't take too long, or it won't be too expensive. We'll get the Bell X1 out and going again. That's going to take 5 days to get that back, and then we'll see how long it takes to do the repairs. We also have supersonic flight, which is almost halfway done, being researched. If we pop in over here and see where supersonic flight is right here, we can see that that will improve our air launch system. I got caught a little bit on this one too, so we'll be able to launch from a higher altitude and at a greater velocity, so that should really help. We also get improvements to a variety of engines and cockpits. Really important is that the cockpit, the X1 cockpit, gets upgraded to the X2, and that allows it to get up to 75 kilometers in altitude. Currently, we can't go higher than 30 kilometers without our pilot getting themselves into some trouble. So that will be exciting as well. And yeah, these are all jet engine upgrades. I'm going to keep going with what I can do with the rocket plane before I do the switch to the jet planes. That will be coming in the future. Also coming this episode is we're going to be working on our first rockets, and I'm going to abandon the V2. I think that's the best plan, and start trying to build something that can go, maybe, who knows, at least a long way downrange, or at maybe even orbital. Who knows? But first things first, we're going to go into the administrative building. We're going to click on early rocket development. And we can see here all the conditions are green. There are some optional contracts that I can do. I don't think I'm going to do them because I'm better off dumping my fun, ending this program. I get 63 reputation for that, and diving into one of the next ones. And I believe my choices are going to be early satellites, or light, or early satellites heavy. Yeah, I think I can do either of them. And then I think the rest of them, yes, that requires. So these are the next two. And you can see immediately there's a funding improvement. If I take a look at here, for instance, I'm now in year 5. In year 5, I have 25,926 curb bucks left in the budget for year 5. Year 6, I'll get 49,000 curb bucks. But if I jump just to early satellites light, year 1, 115,000 right off the bat. So I get an immediate funding boost from going this way. And the contracts here are first artificial satellite, first scientific satellite, atmospheric analysis satellite, first polar orbit satellite, first solar powered satellite. So lots of that kind of stuff. And I think I'm better off going with the light rather than the heavy. I think I'm gonna, yeah, they ask you, they're just heavy. I'm gonna go with the light. That's what I'm gonna do. So let's end this one. It's just because I'm a wimp, and I'm getting into the phase of the game once I get into these orbital ones. I did the first 2 contracts of this, and that's where I ended my previous series. So I'm getting into the area where I have no more direct experience. So anyway, early rocket development, finish that off for our 63 reputation. Yes, I want to do that. And I'm going to grab early satellites light and start that one up. Yep, cost me 350 confidence. I have so much confidence. I'm going to do it at the fast rate, not the breakneck. I'm going to be cautious moving forward. I am doing the X-planes at breakneck, and I think that's good enough. We also have, if I can crack 25 kilometers crude, I think I can do that with my space plane. Then I will unlock Flight Director, so I think I want to get into that one. The other thing I want to get into is science. I only have 3.3 science. I've not been collecting a lot of science of late. If I open up the science archive that comes with Kerbalism, and other than some of these sample ones, which are here for some strange reason, like asteroid samples and comet samples, the rest of these are mostly things that I can do if I ignore those. But if I start working my way down, like for instance, the biological sample, I've collected a little bit. This is putting in a small biological organism like fruit flies or mice. You can see it takes 20 minutes to collect the entire thing. And you got to get over an altitude for flying high of 40 kilometers. It might, if I can get a plane that can cruise along, I can maybe put one into an X-plane. Put some fruit flies in there. Maybe, I don't know, start collecting some science. There's still 13.5 science to be collected just flying high. In space, I've collected most of it. So there's not a lot more to collect, but I can do that. Now, biological sample 2 is a higher organism like a monkey or a dog. I've used it once to finish off the suborbital biological research program. I got 0.1 science of the available 44 science. You have to get into space for this one. It takes a whole day to collect all of this science. So I really think this might not be something to really go for until I have something that I can put in orbit and bring back down. So maybe this biological sample one might be a good one to get some more science with. Going down the comet stuff you can ignore. Mach 2. I forgot this was here. If I can, we can go down here to the requirements. Travel between 620 meters per second and 820 meters per second at a minimum altitude of 10 kilometers. I can start to collect science. It takes 24 minutes to collect it all. I forgot that that was an option. You have to be flying low, so you have to be below 40. So this is one of the few ones that you can get below 40. And there is a companion one, supersonic flight. Same idea. 18 minutes to collect it all. Have to be flying low, so below 40, but above 10 kilometers in altitude. Oh, this one has a lower speed range. I can definitely do this with my X1. Easy. Just don't stay below 40, cruise along at this speed. So this might have to look into how to install this. I just forgot to do it with my first 2 flights. We have a mass spectrometer. I have yet to, I've unlocked this part, but I've yet to use it. Notice, as per usual, all the landed stuff is gotten for us. We can get it flying high. That means over 40 kilometers. And space low and space high. Notice though 2-hour duration, so feels like something that can either stay in flying high for a long time, like a high altitude jet. Maybe 40 kilometers is bloody high though, to hang around for 2 hours, or putting something in orbit. So that might be something more for the future. The planetary photography, you saw me doing a lot of this kind of stuff. Collected a lot of it. It is biome specific. This one is too. Okay. Oh no, only landed, it's biome specific. You have to watch for that. Planetary photography is biome specific, flying high and space low. Got a lot of it over the oceans. Could still do space low. But then if you put one of these in orbit, ooh, that's going to be a lot of science. Takes 10 minutes to collect over each biome, but once it's in orbit, and this all collects passively in the background as long as it has electricity, should be good. Pressure scan is completely done. There's no more pressure scanning I can do until I get into high space. See that? I've finished flying high, finished flying low. It's not biome specific. And then finally, temperature scan, much the same thing. I mean, if I can figure out exactly where the monsoonal tropics are, I think it might be seasonal. If I'm not, I don't know. But whatever. I've done flying high over the oceans, flying high over warm tropics, and space low. So not much to get out of that. But I think I'm thinking this supersonic flight one might be a good source of immediate science. Okay, so with that kind of taken care of, I think my best plan is to get into here. I'm sorry, I lied. I want to get into mission control and take a look at some contracts. So now we have, oh, okay, X-Planes Research. I did the break the sound barrier, and then I started looking at other ones, and I completely skipped over, like, there's this one that's required, but then there's these optional contracts. While I have the plane, I might as well do it. There's experimental rocket planes. Notice it says here in red that this contract will no longer be offered if you do X-Planes high altitude, which is this one. This one requires you to get up, reach 40 kilometers in altitude. That is it, isn't it? Yeah, so we should probably make some use of these. So this one, experimental rocket planes, optional. This is one of these ones where, yeah, the amount of reputation resets, I think, every time you do it, and then probably these conditions get higher. But here it's just reach 12.5 kilometers in a crewed vessel, have at least one. Vessel has to be a rocket plane, that's fine. Reach 320 meters per second, so about the sound barrier. Between 10 kilometers and 12.5 kilometers, yeah. And reach 500 meters in altitude after. Okay, so that's all very easy for me to do. And then there's low supersonic. No, this one has to be a jet. I've yet to build a jet. So I think rocket planes optional is a good one for me to get into right now. So I'm going to grab that. Boom. And I'm also going to get into early satellites light. And the very first one here, there is a 6,000 and 7,500 optional downrange contracts for scoring reputation. But first artificial satellite, put something in orbit. Got to be above 150 kilometers and be in a stable orbit for at least 2 minutes. So, yeah, I think I need to start working towards these. Let's start low and start with downrange milestone 6,000. But maybe I'll end up building a rocket that can do all that stuff. All right, and taking a look at the contracts, these are all being mushed together. But what I'm going to start doing, because some of these are crewed stuff and some of these are rocket stuff. So I'm going to take the crewed stuff and hide them. That one and experimental rocket plane. So what's left over here is uncrewed stuff. But then I can toggle back and forth between them like this. Right? Crewed altitude record. Crew count 2. Oh, yeah. Crew duration. Oh, I won't be doing the duration one anymore. But that allows me to just kind of toggle back and forth. The other thing you can do, actually, why don't we talk about this kind of stuff? Because this is actually, let's take all the hides out. I'll show you the things you can do with this. This is the contracts plus window. So for instance, 2 crewed. I'm not going to do that for a while. Crewed altitude record 25 kilometers. That is certainly doable. Crewed duration record of 1 day. That's not doable. Not at this state. Okay, so we'll hide those 2. And instead of, what I'll do is you should be able to make missions. I just got to remember how to do it. And did I think about this ahead of time? Exploration. Okay, that's for searching. Is it here? No. That hides them. That's just for the bar. That's to change the window size. No. All right. I thought you could create missions and then put contracts under missions so that you don't have to. That's not it. All right, never mind. I've gone crazy. Just exit out of here for a sec. Okay, open it up again. I'm just wondering if there's maybe different. Now, this looks all the same, doesn't it? That's for resizing the window. What's that one do? I don't even know what that does. All right, I've gone mental. Maybe it's a feature they took. Okay, all contracts. I could have sworn there's a way to add missions, and I'm just missing something obvious, and it's driving me crazy. Mission lists. This real, like, if there's mission lists, you should be able to add a mission, right? Am I crazy? Okay, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna do a bit of a cut here, and I'll either come back and tell you I've figured it out, or I'll come back and say I haven't figured it out and I've given it up. Okay, we have figured it out. So if I want to create a separate set of missions, I have to create a mission. You hit the little check mark here, and now I can create a new missions, and these are crewed missions. So create a mission. Okay, and now that one has just been added to crewed missions, and I can add this one to crewed missions, and I can add experimental rocket planes to crewed missions. Okay, and then this one here, the 900 meters, sorry, the downrange one would be for uncrewed. So you go to here, create a new mission, uncrewed missions. Go create mission. And that put that one in automatically. Also these uncrewed records. That's an uncrewed mission and an uncrewed mission, okay? And so now what I can do is, instead of, now it's showing still all contracts other than the two that I hid, which I won't be doing for a while, but now I should be able to select, how do you do it? Crewed missions, there we go. So now I can select just the crewed missions, hooray, or I can select just the uncrewed missions, hooray, okay. Oh my gosh, that took way too much time. Okay, let's get back to this. Alrighty, so here we're interested in just the crewed missions right here, and specifically this 6,000, oh no, the uncrewed missions, silly. There we go. And particularly this 6,000 downrange one. What are some requirements? Maintain flight control, reach an altitude of at least 140, get downrange, have at least 50 units of sounding payload aboard. Okay, so let's see what we can do. Now I'm going to start by getting into motors. Now, one of the mods that I have installed recently is VAB Organizer, which takes, and there is a RP1 config that you can get with it. This is all on CCAN, and notice how it took all those motors, which before were in a giant heap, and it has organized them into propeller engines, jet engines, tiny solids, small solid motors, medium solid motors. These are liquid fueled engines. Okay, rocketry, and then single ignition engines. So, and you can close things that you just aren't interested in for now. So pretty handy for going through the massive list of engines that we have available. So what we got here, now can I still sort these by mass? Like, oh, I can. So here, is this my biggest or my smallest? That's my smallest. Here is my biggest. My heaviest engine is the A9 still? The A4 and the A9 variant? That doesn't seem right. Wow. Okay. So we got this one. This is the A9, or the A4 with the A9 variant. This is what's on the, that's what's on the rocket plane. We'll get to that in a little bit. And this is the RD200. So let's, oh, that is itsy bitsy. Let's just throw you away. So let's read the description for this. So this is the power plant of the Redstone missile. Good. Originally designed for ethanol LOX, It was later adapted to use Hydyne locks for 6% more performance in the Jupiter C and Juno 1. Jupiter C/Juno 1. When adapted for crewed use under Mercury, the A7 was used with the original ethanol mixture, accepting slightly lower performance for lack of toxicity. TVC was provided by carbon thrust vanes and additional attitude control, and was provided by actuating fins in the guidance system. Okay, so I'm thinking, so if I start looking at performance things, let's actually bring the A4 back and open up these engine GUIs. So we've been using the A9 variant lately. I had no idea that. Okay, so I thought I had bigger ones coming. This is 28.7 kilonewtons of thrust here, and if I open up this guy, we have on the base version, 383 kilonewtons of thrust. Let me just check that again. So more. Okay, so it's more packed into a smaller package. Okay, that makes me feel better. I think this one might be a good one for us to go to. So we got engine GUI. Now I can upgrade to the A6 variant for a little bit more, and that gets me longer burn times from 65 seconds to 143 seconds. I clicked the wrong one. 121 seconds of burn time. It does not talk about tested burn time, so we'll have to put this to the test. But what I'm interested in is what kind of thing can I build with this? So let's put on, go to fuel tanks. We'll go with, I could start going with modular tanks. Like I do have, these modular tanks are kind of nice too. You get the same options, like, you know, I can go to aluminum. Oh, I got stringer tanks now. Oh, so I can get heavier. Oh, okay. I can get higher quality tanks. So this is, yes. So this is the step up from aluminum, these stringer tanks. So I can go with these modular ones. They get, I think they have, yes. Yeah, you get like different options on the bottom here. That's like a Saturn type of thing. I also have, so that's that modular tank conventional structure. I also have, oh, another modular tank conventional structure. Oh my God. Why does that start so big? Does it get smaller? Yeah, it certainly does. And that has again the option of going to stringer tanks. It does. Not very pretty though, is it? Same kind of mount options. And then we have, oh, this is still being researched, the Atlas modular tank. Okay. Well, just to do some, I mean, I could also go with just our boring procedural tanks, but let's just to sort of play around with. Let's increase the size of this so it looks kind of nice. Like the mount looks good. You know, it looks like something that would be appropriate to mount this engine to. That might already. Let's play with the different mounts. So this is the Saturn S4. A generic mount like that. Oh, see, there's a nice boat tail. Just a nice, boring, standard kind of boat tail. A shroud tight shroud. I like it. Another shroud, another shroud, another shroud, another shroud. SLS. Wow, lots of engines. Nova. Now I should actually take a look at what are the igniting. Okay, chance of ignition is 84%. That's not bad. That's not bad. Okay, just gonna keep playing around with these mounts for a little bit. I like this one. That's very similar to, we had, this is the RD107 mount, RD108, oh, what, that is an actual engine I have, right? I think I'm better off with what I'm doing. Yeah. Let's keep playing with this. This is the skeletal, which is kind of cool. Oops. Now, does that give like a variety of engine mounting position? Oops. Let's change the root part to the actual tank. Actually, what I should do, honestly. Here, we're not interested in cockpits. Just put a probe dupe on the top. Make that the root part. That should always be the root part to get you started. Okay. Does this? No, it only has one node. I thought there'd be like 3 nodes there, but it is only still one node. Let's see. Adapter Centaur. D Centaur 5. Saturn. Vulcan, the Atlas mount, Dome A, Dome B. These domes are kind of nice, honestly. Well, maybe not. Dome flat, dome half, dome framed. So many options. Short. Okay, I'm really leaning towards those boat tails we saw early on. Oh, these are noses now. They should be on the top. All right, I'm thinking of going to those nice little boat tails we saw earlier. So let's just keep going. Mount. There we go. I mean, that's pretty nice. Actually, I kind of really do like this too. So that's okay. So what? Let's open up our McJeb's Delta V statty stats there. We're going to upgrade this. Put you away. Engine GUI. Oh, well, I already did upgrade this to the A6. I'm going to go for as big as we can. And what do I got for burn time? Burn time of 121 seconds, so that's just over 2 minutes. Right now, we have to fill this, obviously. Now, oh, what kind of motor? It is not pressure fed. Let's just verify that. It does no mention of pressure feeding at all. I believe it does require ullage. Yes, subject to ullage, sport clamps, yada, yada, yada. Okay, so, I can go with, yeah, the aluminum stringer tank is what we're going to do. Put the utilization up to full, and we will fill this for the A6. So that's putting in what we need, and now we're at 29. Again, we can go a little over 2 minutes, so let's increase the length. Might make this narrower and see what it looks like. Oh, what did I do? Oh, the mounting thing can be changed. Okay, that's cool. I was just suddenly missing that. Okay, that is right at the... But obviously, this is just... That's too fat and stupid. Bad. All of a sudden, that mount doesn't look so good, does it? Oh, you can change the textures on the mount. Maybe just the regular boat tail is a better choice. So that's just a minute now. Let's make this longer. I shouldn't just pick these at random either. I should put some more thought into what the length is before I tool it. We'll do a little test of this too. Make sure. We'll do the typical. See, that's getting into more the kind of size. I got a surface thrust to weight of 0.51, which is fine. Not lifting any payload yet, but and delta V. I do not think that's the delta V I'm going to need in order to get into orbit. So I just want to get bigger. So we'll have to put some sort of payload on this. What was the engine that went with this? Oh, the Redstone missiles. And the Jupiter C. Okay, so again, I'll put a little cut in, and I'm going to do a little Googling and look up those rockets. Okay, we're back. 1.8 meters long seems to be there. Oh, I'm in the right ballpark. So I'm going to go with their diameter just because that looks okay. It's for the beginning of a rocket. Okay. Let's do a little static firing testing of this. And I'll go to here. Now, how are these? Illumination. Oh. Lighting's... I haven't played with these. See, now I'm finding stuff. Launch stands. Do they have the static launch stands in here? They do. I don't know why, but I find this fun. I could just put the stock launch clamps on there, but I mean, if you have the option to play with things, isn't it better to play with things? I think it's better to play with things. Get these clamps to look like they're holding it. And then there's a vertical adjust, yeah. Oh, yeah, we'll just put that out of the way. Okay, let's simulate this. Get rid of the contracts window, you're just in the way. Simulate. Say, okay. And I'm never that interested in, I mentioned this before, recreating the actual rockets that we're talking about, but it's nice to look at them just for sort of inspiration, especially for getting scale and things right. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going... Oh, shoot. I did not enable failures. That's the only way this works. So we're going to revert to the editor. And we're going to simulate again. There we go. Okay. Go to here, and we're going to throttle up. And we're simply going to activate our engine. There we go. And again, what we're looking for is watching this mean time between failures, which is already 12.41 minutes. So this engine does fail a fair bit. And just watching for when this thing starts to plummet. So I'm just going to give a little bit of thrust here, or a little bit of time warping. And we'll get up to 121. And then this gives me an idea of what is a good sort of maximum fuel to get. So we're at 80 seconds, 90 seconds, 100 seconds, 110 seconds. Okay, let's take the time warp off. We're almost at our rated burn time of 121 seconds, and then we're going to watch this. Again, what we're looking for is when does this really start to go down? Hasn't started going down yet. Oh, now it's starting to go down, but fairly slowly. I'm still fairly comfortable with that. Now it's starting to go a little quicker. It's dipped below 12 minutes. I'm going to call it here. Maybe at about 140. Maybe 145. Now I'm going to let it run till it fails, because failures are enabled. And I could do like multiple tests of this too. Remember, I had a lot of TWR at the bottom too. Wow. It's at 160, still running. Mean time between failures is down below 6 minutes now. Maybe 150 would be a good number. I'm going to go with maybe 150. The longer this goes, the more I want to push it. And I suppose what I could do too is just do lots and lots of tests of this. This has got to fail any moment now. Mean time between failures is down to 2 minutes. It's been running for well more than that. So I think we're into the lucky zone now. The lucky zone, as it were. 200 seconds it's been running now. Over 3 minutes. Oh my gosh. Well into the lucky zone. There we go. We just had some sort of failure. Partial loss of thrust here, performance loss. Now it's completely gone. But it ran for 214 seconds. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to restart that, do that one more time. Because that felt really, really quite lucky. So let's restart the simulation. Okay. And again, get the engine, throttle up, activate the engine. Do some physics warping. And I like, you know, by making this 1.8 meters in diameter, which is the same as the actual real Redstone and real Jupiter series rockets, what I like, where we got a performance loss really early. See that? So I definitely got super lucky before, not even at 120 and a failure. So that happened. So, let's get back. This makes me feel like, let's do one more, because that felt really unlucky that time. Okay, that goes there. Throttle up again, activate the engine. But like I was saying, by using the actual real diameter, that sort of tells me that, okay, if in the future I want to do something like put a mercury capsule on top of this thing, I know it'll be an appropriate size for that because that's what it was really used for. So that's what I like to do. But then after that, I don't want to really emulate much of anything. All right, we are getting up to 80 seconds here. 90. And 120. Okay, let's take the time warp off. So now we're over the 100, we're at 130. I was thinking like 150. Starting to get that drop. 150 is a nice number because that's 2.5 minutes. Starting to see that drop in failure. Getting up to where I would like to sort of set this limiter at. 150 right there. Unlimited fuel, by the way, while I'm hooked on to all this stuff. Unlimited resources. Okay, I'm going to do a little time warping now. I think I'm comfortable going to 150. Now it's 180 seconds. This is what it did before. Let's go until it fails. Oh, right at 200 seconds is where we got just a full motor failure there. Okay, let's revert back to the editor. Okay, get rid of the launch stand. So increase this length. Bum, bum, bum. What am I doing? There we go. Increase the length of this until we see about 2.5 minutes. Because I like to actually get it right on there. There we go. 2 minutes and 30 seconds. That's 200, right? So at 120, 30, 150 seconds. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to use this. I'm thinking this might make a nice booster. Now what we got to think about is a payload to go on top of this. So I'm going to just very temporarily... what motor is this again? This is the NA... whatever. NA75, but I did an update on it. Doesn't it say that somewhere? A6 configuration. Okay, so I'm going to open up, why am I in action groups, for goodness sakes? Open up sub-assemblies. Can I just throw this whole in there? Yeah, I can. This is an A6 booster is what I'm going to call it. Get rid of that. You'll come back. You'll be back. I know you will. So now we're going to think about a payload. So again, start with probe core. Something fairly small. Might need... I love this to be just a 2-stage rocket. We'll see if we can get away with it. So bringing up contracts again. 6,000 kilometers downrange. We need to have 50 units of sounding payload aboard. That is not a lot. And I think what I just did... Oh, there's a 50 unit sounding payload there. So if I'm going to use that, then I should probably bring this down to the same diameter, shouldn't I? So that is 370 millimeters. Do-do-do. 370. Remember that. There we go. That's the same diameter. Might throw some fruit flies on there. I mean, again, I was talking about science, wasn't I? That is the biological sample. There's a little bit still to get. And then there's the flying high stuff to get. Yeah, why not? Why not throw on some fruit flies? Going to science here. There's that mass spectrometer I talked about, but not the advanced one, but the basic one. Get a little bit more science out of this thing, so there's nothing to say you can't do that. And now I gotta think about propelling this thing. And I wouldn't mind, because I think I got them, don't I? Those... Oh, I do like this organization system now. This is so much nicer. Oh, we have multi... Oh, wait, that is... Yes, that's for the rocket plane. Multi-ignitions. Medium solids? Ooh, small solids. I don't like how they disappeared. They're small solids. Oh, these are still to be... Oh, the baby sergeants are still coming. Shoot. Okay. So you can get these little clusters here. And then doesn't this like fit around it? Isn't that how that's supposed to work? And then somehow disengage? I think that's how that's supposed to work. So you do that outer ring and somehow drop it, but I don't have them anyway. Okay, so we have to think something else. Why am I doing things? I'm just dreaming. I'm just dreaming. I can't do that. Okay, so we'll get out of the small SRBs. Not tiny. What's under medium solids then? Oh, that's the Nike and the... Well, that's a kick in the pants, isn't it? Jeepers creepers. That's 300 and it'll burn only for 3.5 seconds. No. So we're going to get into single ignition rocketry. I do have I got the Aerobee, which I've not used. The familiar U1250 I could use again. We do have, there's the Veronique, which I've been using. We do have Russia's, this one. This would have to be a little bit of a bigger motor, but I could definitely deal with that. How would our booster sit under that? I could build something around that. So that's an option. What does this guy have to offer for me? Here we go. So I only have the one variant, the S2253. 248 kilonewtons of thrust. And burn time of 95 seconds. That will burn for a long time. So there's something to think about. Is it have gimbaling or anything like that? Like attitude control? It's unthrottleable? I don't think it does it? back to here. So like before, I just want to, what did I have here before? I had this guy. That's on the very bottom. Does it talk about gimbal ranges or anything like that? Sorry, it doesn't say it there. A9 gimbaling, 2-degree gimbal range. So does this fella have it? Oh, a 10-degree gimbal range too. So I could put a core on the top of this and have this thing actually fly. If I throw my booster under it, I mean, I put no fuel tanks or anything on this just yet. Obviously, I probably have to play with this too. But just to get a feel, if I throw that under it and take a look at just the right engine here. So not you, put you in its own stage. What's my TWR? Ooh, surface TWR is down to just, oh no, yeah, 1.25, and I've yet to put fuel tanks or anything on it. That's just the weight of the motor. So I think that might be a little much. A little too big of a motor to put up there. So we're gonna go lighter. We're gonna go lighter. Again, that one weighed 300 kilograms. Veronique is lighter. That's an option. There's also, oh, the Stentor is pretty heavy too. It's in the 300 kilogram range. Okay. Well, I could go with the Veronique. I have been using that. That gives me, oh, it's not that great. Ooh. Might have to make the booster a little smaller. Let's stick with the Veronique. It's an engine we're familiar with. We use, oh, I even have an upgrade to it. I can go up to this extra burn time, the AGI Veronique. Mass, oh wait, the engine mass is 150 kilograms, okay. And do I get more thrust or anything? No, thrust is the same. A little better ISP and a little more burn time on the Veronique. Okay, so let's see. Probably we'll have to make this rocket a little bigger if we go there, but this hat I've already forgotten. A burn time of 49 seconds. It does require a high pressure tank. So what we're gonna do is just get one of our standard tanks here. We'll change this to high pressure aluminum stringer tanks. We'll put the Veronique underneath, and we'll fill this for the Veronique. There we go. And we got 49 seconds for a rated burn time. Right now the burn time is 30. Wow, it's 24. I'm not even there yet. Let's make this smaller. The motor under it is going to be, let's get that booster under it. This is for scale purposes. This is 1.8 meters in diameter. I want to stick with that. I can bring this diameter down. What does 750 look like? Just for a number. Like so. And of course that means the sounding payload will have to come down to or 750. Oh, but then I got the issue with I might have to build some sort of payload thing for this. Oh, that would have to come back down. Okay. That might not be bad. We can bring the length of this right down. Remember, it only needs 50. This should be 50. Update. Okay. This is the avionics core. And what I'm oh wait, we gotta make this longer. Shoot. What'd I say? 40. Got these engines the wrong way around. There we go. It's got 19 seconds of burn time, and I think it was 49 if I'm not mistaken. 49. So let's get it up to like 55 and see what this all looks like if I just make it longer. Do I see 55 seconds or there around? Again, just shooting in the dark. We haven't paid for any of this yet. Oops. Now the Veronique is not a gimbaled engine. That is one of the downsides of this. So if this top one is going to be guided, I got a TWR of only 1.2, so I probably will have to bring the length of this down in order for this to work. TWR up here is huge. Okay, so what we're gonna do, here's what we're gonna do. If this is coming back, it needs, I might put a fairing with a payload on top, like this kind of a thing. Payload. Look at these, how this is organized. Oh, this is great. Okay, so a payload adapter. We'll go with this. Clearly, it's got to be a lot smaller than that. Oh, wait, this... Has that got a decoupler in it? It does. So that can decouple the payload. This can go here. Clearly, this base needs to be a lot smaller. I think I picked 750. $750 There we go. See, we can put a little thing in there. We can put a parachute on this. How small does that go? You know, because we got to bring our flute flies home. The flute flies are completely, you don't have to bring them back. Okay, the engine clearly needs to be in its own stage here. All right, let's play a little bit. With the fairing here. So we got a base size. This is sort of auto shaped right now. Fairing auto shape off. Okay. Bring that max size down to 750. Just want it to be a little sleeker looking. Oh my god, I cannot. There we go. And we'll bring the length of it up a bit. How do you add length to this? Is it this one? Yeah. Just so it encloses our little payload nicely. I think that'll work. Okay, we got to reconfigure this parachute. Let's do that really quickly. So, show parachute editor, go to here. Finally starting to figure this stuff out. So this will have two parachutes regardless. Maybe actually, let's throw that away. Let's get the little single parachute tube here. Are all these procedural? This is not procedural, right? This is the old Mark 16. Oh, wait. Show editor. Oh. No, but there isn't a... No. Nope, nope, nope. So we're going to put on this guy. Previous size. We'll make it fairly small. So it just sits on top. There we go. Begs the question why I have it in a fairing, but, you know, one thing at a time. Okay, main chute, use the dry weight. I think probably everything from here on in is just going to be fine. Yeah, so I think I can just apply these presets and it'll be dewy. It'll do it just fine. There we go. Okay. Now we'll put this on. Probably needs to be a little longer, my guess would be. Why that's such a challenge. That looks okay. Little egg on the top like that. So very roughly, that is our rocket ship. All that crap gets deployed at the same time. Actually, probably deploy the fairings first, and then that, so I can control all that. Okay, let's bring back our booster. Oh, one thing. Shoot, I didn't even... The avionics that are up here, I gotta look at that. So open the scoop. Oh, wrong button. Toggle open that. That's what I want. Here's my avionics package. I want this to be a science core on the avionics prototype near, let's see, electricity. Right now it's got enough electricity. It says perpetual. Oh, wait, I got to configure the science on this too, right? Because I can't, yes. Oh no, it's just got telemetry. Okay, that's cool. This should be switched to waiting. Where's my electric charge? Oh, there's no... I gotta put electricity in it? Yes, there's no electricity in there. 5. Apply and resize. Okay, that makes it quite a bit smaller. And that gives it 22 minutes of time to run. We'll see how that works for us. Okay, and then we'll close these. I'm just realizing as well, this might be too hot. This isn't going to work because I don't have any kind of thermal protection on these things. All of a sudden I was thinking like, this is just going to be a hot... Yeah, I have no kind of thermal protection. There's no way to add... Oh, yeah, okay. We'll keep doing it, but all of a sudden I'm realizing putting this biological sample in here, it's going to come in, so it's not going to survive. But you know what? We're going to kind of keep doing what we're doing for no reason. Just so that we can test our booster and test how this is all going to work. So, that's cool, that's cool, that's cool. Put this under here. Oh no, we need a decoupler, obviously. Payload adapter. There we go. Interstage bases. That's what I'm looking for. Like you. And this can go under here. This is 1.8 meters. Like so. We can bring down the height of this a lot. Like so. Good stuff. Is this... Where's that... Where's that bottom engine? Okay, and get these recolorable fairings on there. Oh my god, why is this so hard for me there? I can see here the shape of this is completely not right. So we're going to bring the top down. Now this is 750, right? Yeah, it is. $750. And we need to put in some extra height here. And the shape, I think the shape is gotten by... Bump, bump, bump. Well, let's just keep doing this for now. Extra height, so up like so. Okay, let's get the fairings on here. like that. Okay. Oh, what is... Oh, that's my... That is my avionics base. That needs to be 1.8. And it needs to be near Earth because it's got to be... Do the guidance. It's got to be avionics like that. What is the mass of this thing up to? It's up to 29 tons. 29 point something. So let's put this up to... 40 tons, so I don't have to tool it for a while. It does not need anywhere near that amount of electricity. Let's put in 150 kilojoules of electricity for now. And apply and refit. That gets a little bigger, but that's okay. Okay, you know what we're going to do with this ugly, ugly, ugly thing is we're going to throw some launch clamps on it. And we're going to throw this into McJeb. And we're going to see what she does. What's that? Oh, that needs to, yes. That needs to disengage when all that engages. Just getting the fairings all sorted out. I think I should put these two into the same stage. All right. We're going to give this a go. So let's simulate this. We don't want to enable part failures. And we're going to open up McJeb, staying away from... I haven't put any KOS stuff in here yet. We're going to open up our ascent guidance. And I've been getting lots of advice on the ascent guidance, and I've been writing these things down. This time I am going to go. We're going to try... I'm just going to say, let's go for an orbit and see how you do. So I'm going to go for a 160 by 160 kilometer orbit. I believe the contract requires a minimum altitude of 150, if I'm not mistaken. 140. Okay, so we'll go with 150 by 150. Okay. Now, we'll have it handling the auto staging. Auto stage, support hot staging. It's going to need to do that. We don't want it to turn down the throttle. Now, apparently somewhere in all of this, there is a thing to say, don't turn off the throttle. But if it's here, I'm not seeing it. Okay, keep limited throttle over 100%. There we go. I wanted that. Yes, 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 yes. And under guidance, there's something about a coast phase, fixed coast length. And I'm looking at my notes. So you can, okay, I'm just going to ignore that for now. I don't want it to coast, right? Because the engines won't ignite. So fixed coast length is going to be a 0, but that's okay. I think those are some options that will work for me. So what I'm going to try and do with this is we're just going to engage the autopilot. If at the very least it's going to be hopefully entertaining. Throttle's up, and I think I just need to hit the spacebar. This is the first time I've done this without KOS to help me, but I'm pretty sure I can just hit the spacebar. That's a lie. Okay, let's restart this. I know. Revert to restart simulation. I thought McJeb would deal with the spool up time on that motor automatically, but clearly it doesn't. So we'll put the engine down there on its own and try this again. And we'll see if McJeb stages or if I have to stage it. So, oh, I'm not sure if McJeb did that or I did that. I was a little thumb happy and hit the space bar, but maybe next time I'll... You know what, let's restart this. Just restart the simulation real quick. And this time I'm going to keep my greedy little paws away from the keyboard. And not through it, and see if McJeb will do it all by itself. So, hands away from keyboard. Okay, McJeb did that. Nice. Now, I just realized I put no tail fins on the bottom of this, so this may just be aerodynamically unstable. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Oh, and yeah, it did take off fairly slowly, but it did take off, so maybe it's not too much of a burden down on the bottom there. It's starting to pitch over. And I did not look at what my total delta V was for this guy. If, where are delta V stats? There's a vacuum. Yeah, this does not have the DV to get into orbit. Who am I kidding? It doesn't. Flat out. I'm pretty sure. No, because orbital velocity is like 7,500, like 7.5 kilometers per second, and I mean, so it's not. Yeah, when the DV is in the 3000s, that's not gonna get the job done, is it? There's also no spin stabilizing going on. So, but I mean, it's a beginning. It's a beginning. This bottom stage needs to be spin stabilized because this top one is going to be unguided. So I doubt. I don't think I have the motors yet for an orbital attempt. But it's a start, I think. Okay, so pitching over still. It's keeping the apoapsis. Apoapsis is just at 100 kilometers now. I'm honestly surprised it's as stable as it is. I thought this thing would have flipped out by now because of the lack of tail fins on the bottom, but it seems to be okay. We are going to get some staging very soon. Oh boy, a lot of G's on our fruit flies. And what happened there? Insufficient avionics, loss of control, I know that, but what happened to our motor? Why did that not light? I think a loss of ullage. I think that's what the pink is. Okay, All right. Oh, I didn't do that. McJeb did that. Okay, it's auto. All right. You know what we're going to do? Because even if I get to 6 kilometers downrange, these fruit flies aren't going to do anything for me. So what we're going to do, we're going to revert to flight. That's not the right button. Revert to editor. Let me think about this. This is not going to work. Not at all. So I think what might be my better plan? The more I think about it, the more I think this makes way more sense. Let's take these off. I have an upper stage Veronique / U 2000. Why don't I just use that again? Doesn't that make more sense? So like for instance, if we take this, gonna drop this into our sub-assemblies for our A6 booster again. Delete the old one. Yep, that's fine. We're gonna open up, rather than building from scratch, we're gonna open up the U2000 sounding rocket. Oh no, we're not. What am I even thinking about? The V2 5,000 kilometer variant U. Right? This had already proven itself to be a pretty decent little craft. It's what made it 5,000. What if I just took this and grabbed my A6 booster and stuck that under there? Doesn't that make a little bit more sense? How did that... Sorry, let me throw this away again. Just going to do some control Zing here. Oh, that's where... Okay, so that... Okay, I was thinking, how does that on there? Okay, let's throw that away again. Sorry. I like that transition. I might just... Why did I say I like that transition and then throw away there? Take that. Take that. Take that. Chuck it. Put that back. And put that there. Oh, yeah. And then not have this. And now I can play with this little fella, this hollow interstage, and make the base wider. .8 and vertical scale, but I don't think I have control over that top diameter. No, much as I liked it. No, I'm gonna go back, throw it away. Control Z, Control Z, Control Z, Control Z, Control Z. Throw you away. There we go. And then we'll use the old fairing. So let's make sense of this. But this might be just way more sensible. That's not quite working. Motor has to go first. These two need to be in the same stage. And there. Okay. And then we can play with the top. 1.75 is not right. Sorry, I'm doing the wrong thing. Is that the diameter at the top? Oh, wow, it's way too high. That's the issue. Bring that. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. That's what I need to bring down. We'll probably get much the same effect just with this. Now go back to here. Back to here, back to here. The endless fiddle of which way around should that go. Okay, and let's change some shapes here. So I don't want the egg. I want it just like a cone. Yeah, that's perfect. I like it. And narrow at the top. Maybe a little higher. Extra height. Oh, I'm doing the wrong way. There we go. Like that kind of a thing. And then you can play with the patterns, right? Like if I open up, which one's the fairing one? This one's the fairing one. You know what? Don't play with that. Just leave it. Why do you want to play with that? Don't play with that. That's cool. Okay, so this Vernique there. These guys need to stage at the same time as all that. Okay. Weight is still just under 30 tons. I think I set the weight thing to 40. Launch TWR is, ooh, it is not good. That is not good. Yeah, so we're gonna have to bring down the length of this booster. Just to get a decent launch TWR. I wanted to get it over 1.2. Or 1.22. Now, this whole thing has now a total delta V of 7,838. We're going to call this the A6. A6. I'm just going to call it prototype. So I have no idea whether I'm going to keep this, but I'm looking at the delta V. 7,838 meters per second of delta V, solid TWR numbers all the way up. And if I compare that to the one that went 5,000 kilometers, so it's got an extra over 700 more meters per second of delta V. Let's go back to what I had. What did I call this? Oh yeah, the A6 prototype. There we go. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. What happened here? What is this? What is that? I didn't ask for that. Bum, bum. Who asked for that? I think it did that automatically because of the... Shoot. Okay, I think I'm going to come up with a different plan for this. Too many fairings. So I'm just going to put under decouplers. I don't know what I'm gonna do now. It's this part it didn't like. So it's the boat tail adapter. What do we got here? Height is that. Base height is that. There. It just did that because of the fairing that was around it. Shoot. Okay. Let's close that again. Okay, now that's back to what I had before. Payload adapters, interstages. .8. Why am I having... Why is it not... Oh, I'm on... There we go. Okay, that's clearly not right, but now what I can do... Boat tail adapter, I want you to go away. Is... Shoot. Come back. There we go. Bring the top in. What is the diameter of this on the bottom? Diameter of that on the bottom is 1.25 meters. So what if I made this base size, no, top 1.25? Just kind of try and not making an egg. I like the, there, conic. And then just took the height down. Yeah, height down. Extra height up. That might work a little better. I don't know if that's going to have the same problems or not. That needs to... Oh my god, this is all messed up. Okay, what motor's that one? That is the bottom there. Okay, so that's going to go first. Then the clamps. That has to be, yes, this is the Veronique. That is that. So that goes there. There. Okay. All right. We need spin up motors. We're going to have to go and do all this stuff again. We're going to open up. What was the boot? Here, let's save this. Open up our 5,000 kilometer variant mix job, that one. What was, I'm just interested, what's the boot file I used up here? So the boot file I used up there was the 5, okay. So I'm going to use that as my basis. So open up the A6 again. Oh my god, it really hates this. It really does. Ah, man. It really hates all these fairings together like I'm doing. I gotta come up with a different solution. It just despises that interchange. Yeah, now close it again. So now it's back to what it was. Okay, we got to come up with a... It's the transition here. I could just have, and I'm sure there are people saying it, like, why not have the fairing attached to here and have it, but because I hate... I don't like this just being naked. I don't like that if this was open, this having a flat bottom. I like this engine being contained in something. I could... No. Like, I could turn this into a hollow cone. This is what I used to do. 1.25 on the top. Make it like 2 millimeters thick. And then on the bottom, but then I got into fuel issues with this, doing this trick. I cannot. Well, if I filled for the Veronique, even if I did, okay, just hang on a second. Hang on, I can figure this out. So that's like a really narrow little cone. Fill it for the Veronique. I can even turn the utilization like right down. But I think if I take that, do that, do that. And then grab this and make it longer. No, better idea was what I had before. This goes here. This goes... What is this extra node I got? Oh, that's because there's a boat tail still there. So you're just going to lose the boat tail altogether. That goes there. Where'd my motor go? There's my motor. Oh my gosh. Motor comes off. Boat tail comes off. This goes here. This goes here. Then we slide that motor up. the very, very beginning of this series, I did something like this, and then I ran into fuel issues. But I kind of... Can I see the motor in there? No. Just... I know what to do. Grab that. Slide her down a bit. Motor up. So the motor is flush. That. I like it. I like it. And then we can grab this again and just slide it back to where it was. Or actually, what I can do is just grab this completely and just stick it there. Grab that. I'm seeing a delta V here, so it should be... This should be working. Shoot. Want to make it longer. No, I didn't. No, it's fine the way it is. I don't see what my problem is. But now, let's throw this boat tail away. This can now go here. This can now go here. This can now be turned into a decent looking fairing. And I won't have the same fairing collision issues. That's all, everything I was doing was just to avoid the fairing collision issues. This, I don't want the egg, I want that. And if I can find this here, we can make this shoot. There, come back. Oh my god, so much work. Okay, the top, I want it to be narrower. And get that extra height going up a little bit. There we go. That kind of a thing. Okay, now I got a nice transition there. And I think it's okay. These fairings have to stage at the same time as those motors. That, let's go. Okay. That, I think, is good. Still have a healthy delta V, 7,875. We're going to go way up to the top here. We're going to put in our... Oh, it is already there, the boot file, so that's good. And we're going to put on some spin motors. We're going to do the exact same trick we did before. So, small solids and tiny solids. This one. Like so. That will spin this up. These can go all the way to the top because they're going to be activated through an action group. We're going to get a smart part involved. And the smart part is going to be a fuel sensor. Even smart parts gets their own thing. Oh, I do have fuel valves for dumping fuel, remember? Oh, I should put one of these on I can get this out. My rocket plane, the X1, because that might have saved me a motor. Because it landed with its fuel fully in there. Okay, when this gets down to like 5%, I think I can get predicted residuals looking here, right? Residuals are predicted to be about 0.5%. So we can get this down to even lower, 2%. And that's when the motors spin up. So we're going to activate action group 1, and then on action group 1 is going to be to toggle on these motors. Boom, boom, boom. Does this thing, these things have engine? They don't, there's no upgrades. All right, so speaking of upgrades, can I upgrade the Veronique? I thought I could. Toggle that open. Veronique. Okay, Veronique. Doom, 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 doom. Engines. I do have an upgrade for the Veronique, and that gives me extra burn time. Now, right now, I have 55 seconds of burn time. I could, it's marginal. Oh, but is it lighter? No, it's the same mass. Marginally better burn time, marginally better ISP. Okay, let's try it with the upgrade on it. Why not? There we go. All right. That's all good. That's all good. That's all good. Okay, we're gonna give this a simulate. Oh my gosh, simulate. So we're aiming for 6,000 meters per second downrange, or 6,000 kilometers downrange. Right here. We're gonna go back to the classic ascent profile. And again, we're gonna get into options. There, limit throttle. Don't ever limit the throttle. That's at 100. Limit throttle to 100%. So that you are not ever... Oh, no, that's not what I want. Sorry. Keep throttle over 100%. That might solve my whole issues with the whole fluttering thing that I was seeing before. And there was also... What other were people mentioning? Well, that has to do with the coast phase. Ascent path editor. There's something somebody told me about uncheck automatic altitude turn. I don't even know what that does, but someone suggested that. Okay. Okay, start at 0.5 kilometers. Start turn velocity is 100 meters per second. Turn. Okay. So, oh, it just took those sliders away. Okay, I'm not quite sure. I think this one's the important one. And let's just see what this does. I am hoping. I still got support hot staging, auto staging on. Yes, we're going to engage this. And we're going to run downrange, and we're going to see what happens. Okay. It's still very, very slow off the pad, but it's going up. It's going up, and that's what matters. I do have the 50 units of sounding payload. That was a requirement for the 5,000 kilometer downrange. Still didn't put any fins on this, but if it's going to be stable just like this, then I'm not going to worry about it. And we'll just see if this is going to... Oh, yes, and I can set this, sorry, for uncrewed missions there. So those are the only contracts I'm worried about. There we go. All right, we'll watch altitude here. Orbital altitude's 150, but I'm very curious. I don't think it shouldn't. I'm hoping with the settings I have, it will not cut throttle when an apogee gets to 150. Well, we'll find out. Okay, we can do a little physics warping here. So really, I did improve the Veronique. I might be able to put more fuel in this stage here, but I am a little bit concerned about this booster being, oh, also, these are not aluminum, these are still aluminum tanks all the way up here. I should turn those to aluminum stringers. If anything, it's this that should be light, not the booster, because I lose the booster first. Like, if anything's going to be aluminum, it's this. These guys should be upgraded to stringers. So let's see how that works. Okay, we're spinning up, and why? Throttle's still at full. Why? Did that staging not work? Auto staging, support hot staging. And again, it's an ullage issue. Oh, I lost the Veronique. It's gone. Okay, let's revert. I'm honestly not really... Restart the simulation. Why was it working before and not now? Hang on, I got an idea. I'm going to go back to the editor. Nope. Actually, I didn't need to do that. Let's restart this again. Okay, is the problem with the Veronique that the fuel type's now wrong because I upgraded it? That's a possibility. So I'm going to deploy these. Jettison those fairings. Oh, what? Jettison all of them. My goodness. All right. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to engage the Veronique. So we're going to give full throttle here. And we're going to activate that engine. Does it work? It doesn't work. The fuel type's wrong. So that explains that. How about this engine? Does it work? Here, I can do it this way. That one works. Okay. All right. All right. All right. Revert to editor. We can fix this. Okay, so I think what I did, if I am not mistaken, is this is the wrong fuel type for the Veronique that I have. So let's get the tank UI out. There should be a remove all option. It's down here at the bottom. And then fill it for the Veronique AGI. Yes. Okay, and actually, I think the same thing for this one. I'm not really sure if I have to do it for this one. Remove all tanks. Fill for the Veronique. I don't know if that makes it so that you can get... Okay, so this is... I also want to change all of these to aluminum stringers. High pressure aluminum stringers. High pressure aluminum stringer. High pressure aluminum stringer. What did that do for my DV? Oh, okay, something's messed up. It only sees one stage. What's not working now? Oh, I still gotta fill these, right? Tool tanks. Yes, fill for the AGI Veronique. Fill, that took the tanks out. Fill for the AGI Veronique. Fill for the AGI Veronique. Same, this can now be an aluminum stringer. I mean, why not? And this needs to have sounding payload put into it. Tank UI, 50 units of sounding payload. Okay. And that doesn't have, I don't think, the avionics. No. It's the same. Okay. So that's made this thing a lot lighter. 5,000. No, wait. That's still... It was 7,000s before. Why? Oh, I only have... What happened here? That's the Veronique. That's that. Oh, there's no fuel in this. Oh my gosh. Oh, did I say... Oh my... I think I said do it for the... Okay. No, don't tool the tank. I know what I did. I think I said fill it for the Veronique, but of course this one needs to be filled for the U2000. There we go. Turn the utilization right up. That utilization I want down. 8,276. Let's keep them all on aluminum stringers, see what we get. So I probably brought the mass of this whole rocket down a lot. Yeah, I lost a couple of tons, in fact. Okay, I think I might be onto something. Simulate. Okay, all these should be the same. So engage autopilot. Options should still say, yeah, keep throttle limit over 100%. Engage that, run downrange. And dum. Contracts. There we go. All right, let's time warpy a little bit. So I might call this, well, we'll see. We'll see what we get once this is all done. So everything is aluminum stringers. And I had somebody suggest to me you should just always just go with the best technology you have at your disposal. So that is what I'm doing. All right, so we are, wow, we are pitched over hard. So probably I don't want this. Probably want to change this path so that it's not quite so pitched over. That's okay. That can be fixed. Okay, here we go. Hey, hoorah! We are good. We are good. We are good. We are good. No hour attitude control on this thing, but that's okay. And we can. Yeah, I like it. I like it. I like it the way it's... I like it. I can probably make this tank quite a bit bigger, but that means making the bottom tank lower. Or because I'm at the top end of the thrust to weight, but maybe that's not a bad idea. Maybe that's not a bad idea. Okay. So... going along here, I am way too low. I mean, that's kind of obvious, isn't it? But we can adjust that. But I just want to see how this does, especially when the apogee gets over 150. If that issue has been solved. All right, on to the next one. And what we're looking at, again, will we get any kind of throttle nonsense like we got before? So I'm looking at the throttle here at 150. No dippy-doo on the throttle, so excellent. Okay, okay. So thank you to whomever suggested to just get into here, keep throttle over 100%. I'm very much a McJeb rookie. I don't use McJeb a lot in my own games. Okay, I don't see a reason to continue actually with this as it is, because this is clearly just pitched over too far. But I don't know, maybe, well, you know what? Just for giggles and gaggles. Again, the idea is to get 6,000 kilometers downrange. This was at an ascent path of 45%. But look at this. Okay, look at this. I am hitting Africa. I am hitting Africa and still going. Sub-Saharan. Look at that. Look at that. We've almost cleared. Okay, so clearly, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, we are not far. We are not far at all. Obviously, all kinds of records got cracked here. 7,000, we cracked 7,000 meters per second. Okay. Excellent. So this is clearly going to... I'm just seeing how far it will go. Now, I've been using, under McJeb, while I'm thinking about this... under McJeb. Why would I open that? I've been using the Let's just get rid of that because it's in the way. The flight recorder, which gives this, but somebody said there's something better that's just lighter, that you don't have to worry about the resets and all that kind of stuff. It's not like vessel info, no. Target orbit info, no. I don't have a target. That should be good. Surface info? Vertical speed, coordinates, no. Orbit info? Is there downrange on that? No. Landing info? No. Atmosphere, ascent stats. Ascent stats. Downrange distance. There we go. There we go. That's much easier. So here I can keep track of my downrange distance without having to evoke that ascent guidance computer thingy. Still, you're better keeping the contract active. All right, we're almost out of batteries. That goes without saying. So we've just lost our batteries. Oh no, we've just lost communication. We have no... Our program is still running, so that's saying that there's still electricity. Now our program's not running, and we don't have electricity. Okay. So I want to see how far this goes. So here comes Africa for the first time. We're coming over Africa. Still getting a lot of these black things. I've been getting some people telling me stuff. I am not very good at knowing what the hell people are talking about when they talk about graphics settings. Somebody said, and again, I am writing this stuff down. Somebody said, go into Tufts. I've had it identified from 2 different people. Go into Tufts and disable HDR. And I have absolutely no idea, because there's a lot of stuff in here. What is HDR? So if somebody can educate me on that piece, that would be super. But I do not know what it is. Okay, we are well over 6,000. Here comes 7,000. Here comes 8,000. And here's a thing. I was thinking about putting some fruit flies on this. Like, clearly it's gonna die. But I'm pretty excited. So 10,000 kilometers downrange. So I think I can nail all of these downrange thingies. So we're going to crash into the Congo or something. Where are we crashing? Oh, no, we're not. Oh, no, we're not. We're into the... Not the Congo. That's up here, but... Zimbabwe, look out. All right, and this is clearly going to blow up quick. All right. I'm excited about that. That was great. Got a great big ginormous pause happening here. There we go. We're back. Okay. Now I just want to revert back to the editor. Okay. This is the part. I still want to dial this in. The ascent profile, but I'm getting to something that I think I should feel comfortable in building. The question becomes, this is aluminum stringers on the bottom. Do I want to... I don't think I do want to lose that. What's the tooling cost going to be? I just want to get something building, right? And then we can dial in the ascent at another time. That's not a problem. Okay, tooling's not too bad. We have the 12,000. That's for this big tank here. And of course, these avionics have to be retooled. That's another 9,000 there. Then we have the procedural tanks up top. Those are really important to keep them. I'm thinking... I don't... Ah! The question becomes, this is something like the Redstone and the Jupiter series, they were suborbital rockets. They were intercontinental ballistic missiles. So as this thing demonstrated itself very adequately as being able to do. So the question becomes, how much do I want to invest in this tank? That's what it is. So, because it's going to do like the 6,000 and the 7,000 down, and I think I'm going to have to go to something else to go orbital, but hopefully by then I will have unlocked some more stuff. So what I'm thinking, 9,000, if I switch this to high pressure aluminum, and got my delta V stats. So I made my rocket a little heavier. Oh, I gotta redo the tank. Yeah, fill for the A6. There we go. Huh. So, boom, 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 boom. I'm down to 8,000 meters per second. A launch TWR of 1.24. So it's a little lighter. Really? High pressure. Oh, did I? Oh, this doesn't have to be high pressure. Just aluminum fuselage. Fill it. Okay. 7946. Not high. Okay. Launch TWR of 1.28. Oh, wait. Let's put it to there. 1.24. And then if I went to the aluminum stringer tanks, again, full there. And don't tool the tank. Fill it. Now I'm well over 8,000. 1.21. Oh, and what I was really looking at is the cost. Cost to do that is 9,525 Kerb bucks to tool it. Tooling this one, 9,500. Oh, it's the same. Oh my gosh. And once tooled, the aluminum fuselage is 449. And the aluminum stringer fuselage is still 449. Am I looking at the... I am looking at the right thing, right? No, I don't think I am. There's that. Ah, I was looking at the wrong thing. What a dope. 1.8 by 10.4. Okay, sorry. Let's do this again. What was I looking at then? I was looking at one of the procedural... I was looking at the avionics. Oh my gosh. Okay, here we go. It is with the aluminum stringer tank. It's going to cost me... Modular tank, there it is. 12,242. If I went to... just a regular aluminum tank... Not high pressure. There we go. Tool that. Don't tool it. Silly. Fill it. There we go. There's my modular tank. 9,724, but with a significant... I think it's going to be worth it to go with... I think I'm better to go with the stringers. For a few thousand more Kerb bucks. The cost for just regular aluminum is 171. For the stringers, it's 205. So the old, it's an extra 30-something Kerb bucks. A few extra thousand costs in tooling. But significantly more, I think so. The other thing I'm thinking about is going with the length upgrade. So that this is back to the 230 I had here before. Two minutes, 30 seconds. There we go. But that gives me a pretty nasty... I don't need the tooling menu. That gives me a very low launch TWR, but then... to rectify that, we simply turn down the utilization so there's less fuel in it. And now I can make this. And then that way, if all of a sudden I have something with a lighter payload and I want to use this, I don't have to retool a new tank. So that's a 1.22, just a little bit less. 8,240. I think I'm going to... Okay, I'm going to give this one more go just to make sure it's behaving the way I want. Oh, and then I think we're going to have to be closing this stream off. I'm just looking at the time. Didn't even get to fixing up the X1. So where is my nice launch stand I had before that I really liked? I can't remember what it was called. I know where I can find it though. Service towers, definitely not it. Special service towers. Crew elevators. Oh my gosh. Hold down clamps. Swing arms and umbilicals. So Soyuz launch bases, Saturn V launch bases, Space Shuttle launch bases, and miscellaneous. It's got to be under just regular launch stands. Got to be like, yeah, that's it. There it is. There you are. That's what I wanted. Okay, we'll right click on this. Let's get rid of that. And we'll hold down bolts. Can change the pole horizontal position, change the pole height. That's perfect. Umbilical box, just make it a little bigger. Oh, that's getting close. So that's ready to detach when it needs to. I'm going to just move the rocket just a little bit. I think I need to make the bottom the root part so I can see this really well. That was a mistake. There we go. Yeah. So I want to get the engine, this engine down into the hold down zone. I'm hoping that makes some sense. I thought that makes more sense doing it that way. You big da lump. Okay, and then back to here. Contract window go away. Why am I fiddling with... Oh, well, whatever. I'm doing it now. So here's the hold down bolts. So that's for a 1.5 meter tank. That's for a 1.25 meter tank. And that's for the Redstone. Oh, that's kind of what this is. I don't understand why they don't... I think what I should be doing then is just moving this up higher. Right up like that. There you go. There you go. There you go. And then... oh, but now the hoses are... Now that looks funny. You need the hoses to be in the ground, right? All right. This here, the pole needs to be a little shorter. Perfect. Okay. All right. We're going to give this one last go. One last go to kind of end this off, and then we'll be finishing it off and getting into our other rocket in just a little bit. So we're going to simulate. We're going to engage this. We're going to edit the ascent profile. I think I said that I want this steeper, so I'm going to turn it to 60 and see what that's like. So we'll close that, engage that, run downrange. Okay, we're going to keep track of our ascent class. And of course, did I note what it... Well, okay. Obviously, a staging mishap happened there. Dearie, dear, dear. Okay. All right, what happened? Oh, yeah. Engine first, then that. That's a much more sensible order. Okay. Run downrange. Ascent class nearby. And as I was saying, did I note what my downrange distance was before? No, I did not. Of course I didn't. But I do have video evidence, so I can go look. So we'll see what this does. And obviously next week we'll be cleaning this up a little bit. I haven't gotten into really playing with textures and stuff. Though, I mean, it doesn't look bad. And then... we'll get back into the X1s and hopefully fly some more missions with that. I love the X1 because you can turn it around once I get it going really well. Hopefully get some more science. That's really, 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 really what I need. Because pretty soon, got a lot of researchers. They still need that science data to keep being fed into them. I could also potentially play with this tank here and see if we can, if I put a little more fuel into this stage and then just take some of the fuel out of this stage, if that gets me further down range. I honestly don't know the answer to that, and you did not go. Why didn't you go? Why didn't you go? Auto staging was enabled. Nothing's wrong with the engine. Of course, there's a lack of ullage there. All right, you know what? I think that's gonna be it. Looking at the time, I think I am gonna close it at this point. I'm not quite sure what went wrong there. We'll have to investigate that. Lots of things to investigate, but that's all going to have to be for the next episode. So thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope to see you again for the next one.